I want to send out a song that I wrote a couple of weeks ago for all the fallen ones in Vietnam, all the Vietnam veterans, the ones that made it home, the ones that didn't survive after they got home because of all the things that they had seen and done in war. And I always thought that they were casualties just like the ones that died over there, and their name ought to be on the wall. Well, the spring of '65 was when John Baker turned 18. And like any other high school grad, he was set to chase his dream. But the letter came one day that would be the final straw. It said, "Greetings, you've been selected." His name had made the draw. Well, his dad drove him to the depot to catch that old gray bus. He didn't want his mom to come along, didn't want her to make a fuss. As he turned and looked once more out across the old home place, his mother fell down on her knees asking God to show him grace. After 8 weeks of basic training, a couple of months of AIT, they sent him off to Vietnam to serve in the infantry. Well, the enemy was brutal, and he fought them man to man, and every day he wondered just how much more that he could stand. They took our poor young teenage boys and made them fighting men, and some knew when they left that day they would never come home again. In the lonely land of Vietnam, they watched their brothers fall, and like all the other casualties, their name ought to be on the wall. When John came home, he tried his best to live a normal life. He took a job down at the mill, and he also took a wife. He did his best to fit in, but he'd rather be alone. And no matter how hard he tried, he could never come back home. They say that what don't kill you will always make you strong, but they weren't the ones who were dying over there in Vietnam. Sometimes it's hard to face the world, the demons and the strife. And on one cold November day, John Baker took his life. They took our poor young teenage boys and made them fighting men, and some knew when they left that day they may never come home again. In the lonely land of Vietnam, they watched their brothers fall, and like all the other casualties, their name ought to be on the wall. Not all were killed in battle, some made their way back home, but some would never rid their minds of the awful things they've done. A lot of things can kill you, it don't have to be a gun. It doesn't matter where they fall, they all died in Vietnam. They took our poor young teenage boys and made them fighting men, and some knew when they left that day they may never be home again. In the lonely land of Vietnam, they watched their brothers fall, and like all the other casualties, their name ought to be on the wall. Like all the other casualties, their name ought to be on the wall.